Hello everyone and welcome to the Dex Imaging Help Desk YouTube channel. This video is a continuation of the Mac driver installation for a Konica if you have user authentication or account track enabled. So just to go back over a few things in case you're watching this and you forgot how to get into cups, because that's where we need to go. You're going to go over to Spotlight right here, the little magnifying glass. Then you type in terminal and press enter to bring up this window. And remember, this needs to be done verbatim, and I put an example above the window just to be on the safe side. It's going to be cups ctl space web interface equals yes. Then press enter and go ahead and close out of this. And then we're going to open up Safari and we're going to go to local host :631/printers, then hit enter, and then you select the Konica C368. Then we go over to the administration drop down and we're going to select set default options. Then we're going to go over to finishing options. Now the first thing that we're going to do is user authentication, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. I have enabled public user. Now, this assumes that you have public user enabled, meaning when you go up to the copier, if you want to do something in black and white, you're okay to do it. But if you need to do something in color, then you have to log in. If you don't have this enabled, then just skip over this step. So now we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom here and say set default options. And remember, it asks you for your login for the Mac when you first turn it on. Alright, so that's been enabled. I'm just going to minimize this window. Okay, and now this is where you would enable the code. And again, if you're using 10.13 or 10.14, you can only use Chrome or Word to do this. It's just like when you were setting up the presets. However, if you're in 10.12 like I am, you can use Preview. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Preview. I'm going to do File, and then Print. I'm going to go ahead and select the little drop down right here that says Preview. Yours might say something different if you're using Chrome or if you're using Word. And then we're going to go to Output Method. And then see how user authentication is already checked. We're going to select Detail Settings. Then double click on user authentication and see how public user is already enabled. So we're just going to go ahead and say Save Settings. Then hit OK. Then hit OK again. Now, since grayscale is already our default, we don't need to make this a preset, and then you just hit print, and the print job will come out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the color preset with the color code. So we're going to go ahead and come back up here to File, and then we're going to select Print. And then it'll bring these settings up again. The first thing we're going to do is select the little drop down where it says Preview, or it might say something different if you're in Chrome or Word. Then we're going to go to Output Method, and again, user authentication is already enabled, but this time we're going to do the color preset. So we're going to hit Details, then select user authentication. Now, this is where you would select recipient user. And then I already have pre-created the color code, and it is Help Desk. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in my code. And Save Settings is already enabled. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Then OK again. And now we're going to go to Output Method. And then Quality. Then where it says Select Color, we're actually going to select Auto Color from Grayscale. Then we're going to go up to the Presets. And we're going to actually save the current settings as a preset. And we're going to call this color user authentication. Or if you just want to set it as just color, that other color preset is from when we actually did the defaults when there were no codes enabled. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And then we're going to go ahead and print it. Now that will actually use my color code, and then I'll be charged however many originals that prints out. This portion of the video is for if you have account track enabled, meaning when you walk up to the copier, you just put in a 4-digit code or however many digits it is, and then log in, and then you're able to use the copier. Okay, the beginning of this video shows you how to go into cups. Once you're in there, you're going to have to go back up to the administration drop down and hit set default options. Then we're going to go over to finishing options, and you just turn account track on, then scroll down and set the default options. Okay, now if you're using Mac OS 10.13 or 10.14, you can only set these defaults in Chrome or in Word. I'm using 10.12, so I can use Preview. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my document, then click on File and Print. Then I'm going to select the little drop down where it says Preview. It might look a little bit different if you're in Chrome or Word. And then we're going to select Output Method, and then see how account track is enabled. So we're going to go to Detail Settings, then select Account Track. Then you don't have to put in department name, just your PIN where it says password. Then click Save Settings, then OK, then OK again. Now our default is grayscale, so we can just leave this as the default setting. Then we're going to go ahead and hit Print. Alright, now that'll print out and it'll charge me 16 black and white clicks. Now we're going to go back to File and Print, and now we'll do the color preset. So we're going to select where it says Preview, and in this case we don't have to select Output Method again because it's already hardwired in there. We just need to go to Quality and then select the color, and it's going to be Auto Color. Then come back up here to where it says Presets, and we're going to save the current settings as a preset. And since we already have a color one from when we did user authentication and when there wasn't any kind of code required, I'm just going to call this account track. Then hit OK, and then hit Print. And now this will charge me 16 color clicks. So this concludes the video on how to enable user authentication or account track on your Konica Mac driver. As always, thank you for watching the Dex Imaging Help Desk YouTube channel, and please subscribe to us.